Hello and welcome back, Oats, to the Big Blue Purple channel. Today, I'm going to be making a bit of a different video. Completely off script here, just ranting about Destiny 2. Witch Queen came out today, and I have been watching some friends play through it. I'm not going to be buying this expansion, I don't think, unless the raid is a saving grace. The visuals are kind of neat, the throne world looks kind of cool. It looks like the same shit we've seen year after year in the history of Destiny, so not super interested. But basically, I've been playing Destiny since it launched and I was a little kid back on the Xbox, and I feel like I've been fucking wronged by this game enough times. So let's just sit down in front of a camera and talk about why I fucking hate this game, and why I also love this game, and why I'm mad that it sucks. Well, let's start by talking about why it's good. The shooting. Destiny's shooting feels fucking incredible. I don't think very many games can compare to Destiny and its gunplay. It just feels great. The weapons are really cool, the reload animations are extremely satisfying, and perks are interesting and fun. But that's not the issue. I think most people who play Destiny 2 for, like 50 hours for free or whatever, have enjoyment out of it. They don't have issues with the game. Destiny is problematic when you play it every day. Essentially, the gameplay loop in Destiny 2 boils down to you running your weekly strikes, weekly gambit, weekly crucible, daily bounties, weekly this, weekly that, whatever the seasonal activity is, over and over and over again to gain power so you can do higher level activities that don't matter so you can keep gaining power. This would be fine if the higher level activities were actually fun, but they're not. They're Grandmaster Nightfalls. And saying Destiny is only bad when you play it every day is not necessarily true. I guess what I'm trying to get at is it's bad when you play it on a regular basis and are dealing with endgame. Because Destiny endgame is repetitive, it's grindy, it's meaningless. The weapons you get are not miles better than the weapons you have or anything, and the power grind feels completely pointless half the time. Exotic weapons in Destiny 2 don't feel much more special than legendaries half the time, and the ones that do are so goddamn broken they define the meta. Raiding in Destiny was the thing that I loved the most about it, and I still love about it, and the one thing that has me considering picking up Witch Queen. Like I said, if the raid is good, hey, I'll give it a shot. But listen, man, raiding in Destiny and similar experiences such as that can be found in other games, and that's what I've realized, so I've moved on. I'm tired of putting up with the unbalanced ass PvP where everyone just fucking shotgun whores each other, and I'm tired of putting up with Bungie and their terrible idea of balance. I mean, when Beyond Light dropped, they literally admitted that they released Stasis so fucking overpowered so that they could convince new players who were dying to it in PvP to go out and spend fucking $50 on the expansion. And you know what? Guess what? That's not all you have to pay for, because the season doesn't even come with the goddamn expansion anymore. What happened to buying a season pass and getting your year worth of content, Bungie? What happened to getting multiple DLCs with multiple raids or endgame activities per year? It's not that simple anymore. Destiny has adapted a seasonal model because Bungie can't make content, and it's not very good. It's revolved around making disposable content that gets removed from the game 3 seasons later. Now, this is not nearly as bad as it was in Shadowkeep, where the season was immediately removed from the game the second it fucking ended. But Destiny is now a game built upon removing content from it, and it is destroying the game in my eyes. When Bungie even proposed the idea of sunsetting gear back when Beyond Light was dropping, I knew this game was going to the shitter. Bungie even took back that decision because of how fucking atrociously bad it was. That doesn't exempt them, though, from the fact that they still, quote unquote, vaulted 90% of the playable content in the fucking game. 7 raids? What's that? I think you should be happy with 2. 30 strikes? Let's take that down to 10. Crucible maps? What are Crucible maps? So much content that the players paid for has been taken out of the game. And yeah, this is old news to a lot of Destiny players. Maybe they're fucking over it by now. But I don't think this is something anyone should get over. I don't think it's anything that we should be allowing in video games. Game devs shouldn't just be able to sit here and go, oh, this content you paid for, well, we don't really want to balance it anymore, so we're going to take it out of the game. Not a good model. But for someone like me to sit here and rant about Destiny to a camera completely unhinged, there has to be a reason for that. And the reason is because I really fucking liked this game for a good majority of my life. Destiny 1, even through its rough points, I was a dumb kid. I put up with all of it. Taken King to me when I was fucking 13 or whatever, that shit blew my mind. Best expansion I played in a game ever. And Destiny 2 dropped, I bought that shit too. Base game wasn't so great, but Leviathan was a cool experience. Too bad, you can't play that shit anymore, it's gone. The raid layers, they were kind of fun. At least we were getting raid layers every couple months because of these expansions. At least we were getting full expansions even if they were bad ones. It's just, Destiny has always had a history of releasing bad expansions and then making up for it later. And this trend can't continue into 2022. Destiny has been a game that's been around for 7 fucking years now, or 8, I don't even know. It's bullshit, dude. They can't keep thinking, you know what, oh, this is fine. Let's just release some garbage, make some quick money off our players, throw a bunch of items in the Eververse, and then, a couple years later, we'll fix it. I'm tired of it, man. If Witch Queen doesn't fix every fucking problem I have with this game, I don't think I see myself going back to it anytime soon. They can't keep using the Halo 3 engine to develop a game that was made to be supported continuously for several more years in the 2020s. It was obviously time for Destiny 3, but given the conditions with COVID and whatnot, Bungie decided it would be a better idea to remove a content from a game that's already full of content. Let's remove that shit because it's too big, the loading times are too long, and let's just keep adding content to that. Instead of making a brand new game and letting people keep this content in one place or another. At least Destiny 1 is still around, even though you can't play all of the content from it in Destiny 2. But guess what? You can play most of the content from it in Destiny 2, because Bungie fucking loves reusing their content. Vault of Glass, that shit's back, man. That's the only free raid in the game. A raid from 7 years ago. Enjoy. It's just, if you defend this idea of vaulting content and removing content from the game that people have paid for, you're in too deep. You need to reevaluate how we look at video games. It's not okay for you to pay for something and have that service taken away from you. It's like paying for an iPhone that breaks in a couple of years, so you have to buy the new one. Oh, wait. And all of this is such a goddamn shame, because the shooting in Destiny never got any worse, it only got better. And the supers and all that shit's so satisfying to use. Sound effects, sound design, music, man, they know what they're doing, but they don't know what they're doing. It sucks. It's a great game, but it's a horrible game. And this is a sentiment echoed throughout the entire community, even from players who play every day and love the game deep down. They still say, this is the best game I've ever played, but it's also the worst game I've ever played. Shit like that. Destiny needs to work on itself, and I really hope it continues to do so in Witch Queen, but it won't exempt it from the continuous miss after miss after miss with these expansions. Shadowkeep into Beyond Light, what a fucking disaster, man. It's like with Destiny 1's launch, for instance. They have an excuse. It's a brand new fucking IP, alright? Whatever. It's gonna suck a little bit, maybe. Even that's not good logic, but here, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Dark Below comes out. It's the worst fucking expansion ever made. House of Wolves comes out. Okay. It's alright. Like, Prison of Elders was a cool idea. We got some interesting stuff. I think Trials of Osiris came out around then. A lot of staples in the Destiny franchise are really memorable things, like the Queen. All these things were House of Wolves. And then Taken King came out, and it fixed every single problem the game had. I mean, not every single problem, but it fixed so many of the fundamental flaws with the game. It didn't just add more of the same. It went in and changed systems that were fundamentally annoying and made them significantly better. And then Rise of Iron was, a pretty average expansion, nothing special, but, Age of Triumph really kind of makes it stand out more. Everyone loves Age of Triumph. They brought up all the old content to current level. So then fast forward to Destiny 2. What the fuck is Destiny 2? It launches in the worse state than Destiny 1, arguably. The raid is alright. At least there's still a hard mode option. They didn't give up on that yet. And the 2 expansions that followed were awful. Curse of Osiris is, without a doubt the worst expansion ever released in Destiny history. Mercury is smaller than my fucking bedroom. And Warmind, dude? We don't even talk about Warmind. People were so goddamn starved of content from the base game and the first DLC, they're like, you know what? this isn't actually so bad. And it was the same shit. Strikes aren't even new anymore. They're reusing strikes as story missions. Like, what is happening in Destiny at this point? And then Forsaken comes out. And it does the exact same thing the Taken King does. It reworks a bunch of fundamental flaws with the game. It changes a bunch of systems. It adds 3 new fucking subclasses for every character. It's amazing. And it adds the best raid in all of Destiny history. And then, on top of that, it has 3, like, pretty good seasons in retrospect. I think a lot of people would say, like, in the moment, Black Armory, and especially, like, Season of the Drifter, weren't great. But now, looking back on what we have now compared to what we were getting, god damn, those seasons were amazing. Let alone Season of Opulence with Menagerie in its own raid. And so then, Destiny is moving to Steam because the separation with Activision, Forsaken didn't sell enough. Bungie goes out on their own. Shadowkeep is fine. They have an excuse here. The game was in a pretty good state, like, coming off of what they left it at. And yeah, they brought back the moon from Destiny 1 and called it quits. But they were moving over to Steam, you know, like, give them the benefit of the doubt, I guess, right, guys? They're moving to Steam, all that shit. So, overall, Shadowkeep was bad. In retrospect, it's one of the worst expansions for Destiny because of what it marked. When they started the seasonal model here with the Shadowkeep seasons, it would echo the future of Destiny into what we see today. Now, the seasons now are better than what they were because at least they stick around for 3 seasons as opposed to only being around for the season. Like, that's better. But still, Bungie started designing content around being disposable. They were no longer interested in making, like, a fresh experience that's, like, a must-do. Because now, it's being taken out of the game in a month. So why would they put that much work into it? You know what? Let's just make, like, Menagerie again, but slightly different, or whatever. Like, seriously, does anyone even remember what half of the seasonal content was in Shadowkeep? I mean, I fucking do because of how dog shit it was. Season of Undying had that fucking Vex offensive shit. It was alright. It was like, this is just worse Menagerie, but hey, like, whatever. The season came with Shadowkeep. Wow. Crazy, by the way. The season used to actually come with the expansion. You didn't have to buy the first season separately like you have to with the newer expansions. Yeah. Good one, Bungie. Good one. Anyway, fucking whatever the other season was, Season of Dawn, that had the Sundial, which was literally just Menagerie again. And then Worthy just took a fucking nosedive, dude. We got shit like I don't remember what the activity was called, but it was just this trash public event that you had to run over and over and over again. And Arrivals had the same thing, and Arrivals was its own fucking problem because it lasted longer than it was supposed to, because Beyond Light got delayed and whatever. So now we're on Beyond Light. Beyond Light comes out. Bungie drops that shit, using COVID as a great excuse for why it's so trash. Here's the thing. If you're going to release an expansion that can't be as good as it could have been because of, you know, outside factors like that, then don't remove half of the content that you had in the game prior. Don't take out 90 weapons and add 2. But that's exactly what they fucking did. And, you know, Beyond Light had a pretty good raid, I will say. I mean, it's pretty straightforward and easy compared to some of the other ones, but visually it's cool. It's a good time. And the Lament was a cool exotic. I guess that's another positive I can say about Beyond Light. But like I was saying earlier, what the fuck was Stasis? Completely released to be overpowered and encourage, like, new players in the Crucible to go buy Beyond Light because they were getting so destroyed by Stasis that they didn't have a choice. So I guess my point here is the game will never get better if we keep supporting this shit. We need to make our voices heard with our wallets. That's the reality, and I mean, Witch Queen got 1 million pre-orders, so clearly I'm on my own in this endeavor. But anyways, I just wanted to talk to a camera about why I fucking hate Destiny and why I also love Destiny and why I wish Destiny 2 was as good as it could have been. Anyway, if you had a good laugh at this video, agreed with anything I said, or thought I sound like an insane person or whatever, leave a like, drop a comment, give me your thoughts. If you're a Destiny fanboy, defend the shit out of it like your life depends on it in the comments below. Love you guys. PS, come to 14. It's so much better over here.